Have you ever looked at a perfectly picturesque postcard? Maybe a charming little town nestled by a winding river and wondered what stories the shadows might tell. What unspoken truths lie just beneath that pristine kind of idyllic surface.
Right.
Because today, we're not just looking at the postcard. We're ripping it open to see what's truly hidden underneath.
Indeed. We're about to delve into the very fabric of an imagined place, a town that presents one thing, a veneer of wholesome Americana, but clearly hides something far more complex and, well, unsettling.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your chosen material, your sources, your research, your own notes, and we unpack it, uncover the most important insights, the surprising facts, and those aha moments you didn't know you needed.
Yeah.
Today you asked for it, and we're embarking on a custom-tailored deep dive into a script that introduces us to a town promising pep, but delivering something far, far more sinister. We are talking about the pilot episode of Riverdale.
Our mission for this deep dive is to really dissect EP1.pdf. That's the very first script. The one that lays all the groundwork for this pop culture phenomenon.
Yeah.
We'll be peeling back the layers of this supposedly idyllic small town, getting to know its inhabitants as they were originally conceived on the page.
And what I think is really exciting, we'll actively explore and try to predict what fresh chaos awaits in the episodes to come, based only on what we uncover in these initial pages.
Exactly. We're working directly from the raw script here, experiencing the story exactly as it was originally conceived. Scene by scene.
It's like having a backstage pass to the very beginning of this incredibly popular, sometimes kind of wild show, seeing the threads before they're woven into the tapestry.
Yeah.
So get ready, because Riverdale's about to turn everything you thought you knew about small towns and perhaps about teen dramas completely upside down.
Okay, let's jump in.
So let's unpack this opening, because it really sets the stage, doesn't it? The script kicks off with what it calls iconic shots of an American small town. We see that classic "Welcome to Riverdale" sign, proclaiming its faded motto, "The town with pep." It instantly evokes a sense of nostalgia, doesn't it? That classic, almost archetypal small town feel that's so familiar from movies and TV.
It absolutely does. And the narrator, this unseen male teen voiceover, he immediately starts spinning this image of Riverdale as an idea, a place that exists unchanged and unchanging, as if frozen in a time capsule.
Right.
He paints a picture of Riverdale's main drag, bustling with people, with storefronts and local businesses. We cycle through seemingly idyllic landmarks: City Hall, Pickens Park, the Bijou movie theater, the fire station, Pop's chocolate shop diner.
That 24-hour diner, yeah. And he emphasizes this vision of a place that is safe, decent, innocent. He even suggests that if you were looking at it from the window of a train rushing by, you might wish you lived there. It's the quintessential small-town Americana, almost painfully so. For a first-time reader of this script, seeing this description, what do you think is the immediate impact? Does it feel genuinely nostalgic, or is there an undercurrent of something else already?
That's a really good question. And for me, knowing Riverdale now, well, it's impossible not to feel an immediate sense of unease,
Sure.
But even if you were reading the script totally blind, there's an almost aggressive insistence on this perfection. The descriptions are so idyllic, so over the top, that they start to feel almost, performative.
Performative, yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's trying too hard.
Exactly. And the script doesn't waste any time with subtle hints. It immediately sets up this stark contrast.
And that contrast hits hard. Because right after those picture-perfect images, we transition to these really jarring shots of nondescript suburban streets, anonymous, mysterious, and then the true jolt. A derelict building with boarded-up windows, brick walls covered in graffiti, a couple of skinny, possibly methed-out kids stumbling into the building's dark doorway.
Yeah.
It's a rapid, almost violent shift in tone.
It's a masterful piece of narrative subversion, actually. The script doesn't allow you, the audience, to settle into that comfort zone for even a second.
Right.
It's as if the narrator is telling us, okay, that's what we want you to see, but hang on, here's the reality. The voiceover shifts dramatically, explicitly stating that that's only one aspect of it, and only on the surface. The truth is, if you really want to understand Riverdale and what kind of place it is, I have to tell you about its shadows, the town beneath the town. This isn't just about showing a different side, it's about explicitly saying that the wholesome exterior is a lie, or at least a deeply incomplete picture.
It's a deliberate narrative choice, isn't it? Almost a warning to the audience. They aren't easing us into the darkness. They're presenting it up front as an integral part of Riverdale's identity.
Totally.
And it sets up this idea that Riverdale itself is almost a character, a place with two very distinct faces. We then see more seemingly innocuous places: the high school, the police station, the comic book shop, the train station, the liquor store. But now our perception is tainted, right?
Yeah, exactly. We've been told to look for the shadows, to question the surface. You can't unsee that derelict building now.
Right.
And the subversion culminates with the introduction of Sweetwater River. It's described as beautiful, slow-moving, eternal, hypnotic. Normally, a river would symbolize peace or continuity, something constant. But the narrator immediately twists it, saying, starting, I guess, with what the Blossom twins did this summer. That chilling line just hangs there. It instantly transforms the serene river into a setting of dread.
Yeah.
It tells us that this natural beauty is a backdrop for something sinister, and that the initial idyllic images are merely a flimsy disguise.
This opening sequence is so crucial. It immediately establishes that duality, the wholesome exterior versus the dark, decaying interior. It signals that this won't be a typical teen drama, but something far more akin to a mystery or thriller steeped in secrets.
It's almost a promise to the audience. We're going to give you the familiar, but then we're going to shatter it.
Yeah.
This rapid subversion of expectations in just the first few pages is an incredibly effective way to hook a viewer, or in this case, a reader of the script. It promises depth and darkness. It immediately tells you this isn't your average high school show.
And what a way to jump straight into the central mystery. The script takes us directly to the 4th of July, a day of celebration, but now it's imbued with this unsettling atmosphere. We're introduced to the Blossom twins, Jason and Cheryl, who are presented as almost mythical figures.
Right.
Impossibly gorgeous teenagers, both red-haired or could-be models from an Abercrombie and Fitch catalog.
Right. They're almost otherworldly in their perfection, even stepping out of a red convertible to the sound of Sweet Child of Mine. It's almost too perfect, too polished.
That deliberate hyper-perfection sets them apart immediately, doesn't it? It signifies their status in Riverdale.
Oh, for sure. And their custom of an early morning boat ride on Sweetwater River is highlighted, suggesting a private, almost ritualistic tradition between them.
Yeah.
Cheryl hesitates, though, and Jason, with a seemingly innocuous question, asks, "Are you scared?" Share.
Ooh.
This brief exchange with Cheryl's hesitation, it hints at something deeper, right? An underlying tension or fear that Jason quickly dismisses. It's subtle but feels important, maybe foreshadowing that all's not well even between these seemingly perfect twins.
Then the chilling discovery that shatters any lingering illusion of peace. Nerdy, glasses-wearing high school geek Dilton Doily leading his Boy Scout troop on a bird-watching expedition, another symbol of wholesome Americana.
Right, so ironic.
He comes upon Cheryl. She's huddled by the lapping water, knees tucked under her chin, arms around her legs, shivering because she's sopping wet. Numb, in shock, her face is streaked with tears.
Just a devastating image.
Her distraught cry of, Jason, followed by a Boy Scout yelling about the rowboats upside down, banging lazily against those rocks in the middle of the river. It's an immediate, visceral reveal of tragedy. We're plunged right into the town's darkest moment.
The aftermath unfolds so swiftly, painting a picture of a community in crisis. The river is teeming with police. Detective Sam Hill is in charge. Scuba divers are dragging the river for Jason's body, finding still nothing.
Still nothing, yeah.
And that image of the entire town watching from the riverbank, it's powerful. It shows a community immediately drawn into the unfolding crisis. It's a moment of collective mourning, maybe, but also collective curiosity and, as we'll soon discover, collective judgment and these really deep-seated resentments. This communal gathering at the riverbank speaks volumes about the insular nature of Riverdale.
And that judgment arrives quickly, particularly from the Cooper family. Alice Cooper, with her husband Hal and their daughter Polly, who's described as pretty but tweaked out and damaged.
Oof, that's quite a description.
Right. They're observing the scene, and Alice chillingly states, "Awful to say, but I hope he suffered in those last moments."
Wow, okay.
And Polly, with his simmering rage, adds, "Jason Blossom burns in hell."
Whoa. These lines are incredibly dark, especially coming from a mother and a teenager in a supposedly innocent small town. What does this immediately tell us about the Cooper family's history with Jason and Blossoms and the underlying tensions in Riverdale?
It tells us everything, instantly establishing this deep-seated animosity. This isn't just casual gossip, this is visceral hatred.
Right.
The fact that a mother and her daughter, especially one described as tweaked out and damaged, express such a dark sentiment about a presumed dead teenager speaks volumes about the toxicity of their past interactions with Jason.
Yeah, it immediately signals that Jason Blossom was not universally loved, and his death, even if it was an accident, carries immense baggage for certain families. It plants the first seeds of suspicion in your mind.
Wow.
Why this level of animosity? What did Jason do?
Precisely. And despite this intense public animosity, the official story is presented as the truth. A week later, the Blossom family buries an empty casket, and Jason's death is officially ruled an accident. Cheryl's story circulates. An early morning idyll turned tragic when Cheryl saw a ribbon in the water, and Jason reached down to get it and accidentally tipped the boat and panicked and drowned. It's an unlikely tale, delivered with this detached clinical acceptance by the town.
And that's where Jughead Jones, our emo heartthrob narrator, steps in to expose the cracks in this flimsy narrative.
Right, from Pops.
Yeah, from Pop's Chocolate Shop Diner, where he's tapping on his laptop, his voiceover reveals critical counterfacts that completely dismantle Cheryl's story. He points out that Jason was captain of every sports team at Riverdale High, including water polo, and during summer vacations he worked as a lifeguard at the country club. This immediately makes Cheryl's panic and drown story seem utterly impossible for someone with Jason's aquatic prowess and competitive background. It's almost an insult to your intelligence, but the script immediately validates our skepticism through Jughead.
So if the official story is so easily disproven by a simple factual check, what kind of power do the Blossoms truly wield if the whole town, even the police, seems to just accept this clearly improbable story without questioning it? What does that say about Riverdale?
That's a crucial question, and Jughead's narration gives us the answer. He observes that, not that anyone examined those facts too closely or asked too many questions, probably because the Blossoms were like poison roses in the Garden of Riverdale, and no one wanted to get pricked on those venomous thorns.
Poison roses.
Yeah.
The implication is clear. The Blossoms are not just wealthy, they're a force to be feared.
Their influence extends beyond their money, into the very social fabric and perhaps even the legal system of Riverdale.
The town's collective silence allows Jason's death to become just another suburban legend, effectively burying the truth to maintain a fragile peace, or perhaps just out of fear of retribution. This entire segment lays the foundation for the central mystery, immediately signaling that the official story is suspect, and the town's collective willingness to accept it points to deeper underlying issues. Perhaps a deeply ingrained culture of fear, or a desperate desire for a manufactured sense of peace.
So with the central mystery of Jason Blossom's supposed accidental drowning firmly established as a highly suspicious event, the script then brings in some new faces that are clearly set to shake things up.
Yes, the Lodges.
The Lodges arrive in Riverdale from New York. Hermione, Veronica's mother, and her teenage daughter, Veronica herself. Veronica, initially cynical, tries to rally herself, but her horror at the idea of a diner when her mother suggests Pop-Tates is palpable. It's a hilarious yet telling reaction.
It immediately positions Veronica as an outsider, doesn't it? Someone from a completely different world.
Totally.
Hermione, meanwhile, holds on to this desperate hope for Riverdale to be kind and forgiving in a way they just aren't in New York, especially given Hiram Lodge's legal troubles.
Right, the father's situation looms large.
They move into the Pembroke, this Gothic apartment building that's Hermione's only piece of property not taken by the courts. The loyal doorman, Smithers, who knew Hermione from before, welcomes them, adding to the sense of a past that's catching up to them, a life in New York that has unraveled.
Yeah.
What's compelling here is how Veronica's initial cynicism, despite her privileged background, actually makes her surprisingly relatable to anyone forced into a new, unfamiliar environment. That initial resistance is pretty universal.
It's absolutely true. Her self-deprecating but astute comparison, I'm breakfast at Tiffany's, but this town is strictly in cold blood. No offense. Immediately sets her apart.
Well, that's a great line.
It is. It hints at a world wariness beyond her years. A sharp contrast to the small-town setting she's now plunged into. Then we meet Betty Cooper, our blonde, pretty protagonist, getting ready for school with her friend Kevin Keller.
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin is delightfully candid, giving us a glimpse into Riverdale's social undercurrents with mentions of Grinder and his parents' warpathing and his father calling him homo. He's incredibly unfiltered.
Kevin acts as a kind of Greek chorus, doesn't he? Offering direct and unfiltered observations about Riverdale's social scene. His encouraging advice to Betty post-LA, you're in your POP, your place of power, is crucial.
Yeah.
He's clearly pushing Betty to finally make a move on Archie, whom she's been harboring feelings for. It's a classic trope. but done with a fresh, direct approach, thanks to Kevin.
And then, the big reveal. Archie Andrews. Kevin's excited observation. Rojo, hello. Archie got hot. He has abs now. I count 6, maybe 8.
It perfectly encapsulates his transformation, but Betty's immediate, almost panicked, oh no, speaks volumes about her long-standing, unrequited feelings and her fear that everyone's going to see what I've been seeing my entire life.
Yeah, her self-esteem struggles and the internal pressure she feels are laid bare in that simple reaction. Archie's summer, it turns out, was also transformative. Betty mentions her own LA internship inspired by Archie, and the Judy Blume quote, "When you're 15, one summer can change your life," which foreshadows his own changes. He spent his summer working construction, where he discovered his true passion, writing song lyrics. He confesses, "I don't want to pour concrete for the rest of my life, Betty. I want to be the guy who writes songs."
This is a significant deviation from his expected path, isn't it? A rejection of the traditional small-town trajectory and family legacy that immediately sets up conflict.
Absolutely. And his assessment of the summer is dark. It was messed up. It messed me up. The stuff with the blossoms is hardcore. I'm never going back to Sweetwater River. That place is cursed.
Cursed, huh? Interesting choice of word.
It is. He also reveals the Blossom's immense influence, stating, "My parents wanted to write a story about it. For the Register they tried to, but the Blossoms killed it. Threatened to sue to shut the paper down for good."
Wow. That again underscores the Blossom family's intimidating power, their ability to control the town's narrative, even its local newspaper.
Exactly. His musical ambition is framed as a breakthrough. The only good thing was writing songs. Made me feel like I'd finally broken through to something real.
Okay, so this dynamic immediately raises a critical question for us, all right? How will Veronica's arrival, this vibrant, confident new girl, impact the established yet unspoken relationship between Betty and Archie?
Yeah.
And perhaps even more importantly, what other secrets is Archie holding on to from that fateful summer beyond just his newfound passion for music? The script is very careful to layer these personal revelations with the larger town mystery.
And speaking of Veronica, Betty's attempt to confess her feelings to Archie. "I've been thinking about us, Archie, and our friendship and how it's time we got," is perfectly, almost comically, interrupted by Veronica's arrival at Pop's.
Classic timing.
Her entrance is described as being like Kim Basinger in LA Confidential, immediately drawing Archie's fish tank gaze, which Betty, of course, clocks, adding another layer to her discomfort.
Betty's quick declaration, "both of us, together," when Veronica asks if they go to Riverdale, highlights her protective instinct over her friendship with Archie, and maybe her budding insecurity.
Good point.
This segment expertly introduces the core trio and their immediate dynamics. Archie's secret ambition and Betty's hidden feelings are clearly established, along with Veronica's role as the catalyst for change, the unexpected variable in their well-worn patterns.
Yeah.
The immediate tension and attraction between Veronica and Archie, juxtaposed with Betty's unrequited crush, sets up the central love triangle right from their first meeting. You know where this is heading.
Oh, yeah. Moving into the more complex, even forbidden relationships and ambitions, Cheryl Blossom offers a chilling glimpse into her true nature right off the bat.
No, this scene is something else.
We catch her practicing, crying in her cheerleading uniform, rehearsing lines like, "I loved my twin brother. In many ways, he was my soulmate."
This isn't grief. It's a meticulously crafted performance. It immediately exposes her manipulative nature and her keen awareness of how she is perceived by others.
It's so blatant.
The script isn't trying to hide her true colors from us, the viewers. Instead, it uses this moment of dramatic irony to invite us to watch how she manipulates others, because we're already privy to her inner workings. This sets her up as an immediate theatrical antagonist, using her sorrow as a tool for control, and its incredibly effective character economy for a pilot episode.
Then there's Alice Cooper, Betty's mother, the micromanaging matriarch, who seems to wield as much control over her daughter as Cheryl attempts over her peers.
Oh, cows.
Her conversation with Betty is laden with parental pressure about grades, extracurriculars, athletics, and maintaining a decent character for colleges. It's suffocating, a blueprint for perfection that Betty clearly struggles under.
And that suffocation extends to her own trauma, doesn't it? Which she projects onto Betty. Alice harshly compares Betty to her older sister, Polly. Polly was such a shining star till she let herself be ruined by that Blossom boy, and now, where is she? She's turned her room into a cave she never comes out.
Wow.
This immediately raises the specter of a dark, damaging past involving Jason and Polly, and hints at the Cooper family's deep, unresolved issues, particularly around family reputation and perceived failures.
And the warning about red hair. Alice generalizes about Archie, chillingly stating, "Oh, sweetie, they're all like Jason," as if red hair is a genetic marker for malevolent behavior.
It's such an over-the-top yet chilling line, really revealing about Alice's mindset.
It is. The scene culminates with Alice leaving a prescription bottle of Adderall with Betty's name on it. The message is clear. Betty must stay focused.
Oh my God.
It's a silent but incredibly impactful reveal of the intense pressure and control Betty is under, hinting at her own struggles with anxiety and perhaps even her mother's complicity in it.
And if that wasn't enough, Betty's shuddering reaction to Polly's room, painted black, messily, angrily like a Rothko, compared to the possessed girl's bedroom door in The Exorcist, foreshadows deeper, disturbing secrets within the Cooper household.
It's such a strong visual.
It's a literal manifestation of Polly's emotional state, turning her room into a prison. Alice's character immediately brings a palpable sense of suffocating control and underlying trauma to the Cooper household, setting up Betty's profound internal battles. It raises a very important question. What did Jason truly do to Polly to warrant such a strong and seemingly unshakable reaction from Alice, and for Polly to literally paint her world black? The weight of that past hangs heavily over Betty.
Meanwhile, Archie is navigating his own double life, torn between parental expectations and a burgeoning secret. His dad, Fred Andrews, is clearly trying to bring Archie into the family construction business, planning for him to start in the office and eventually take over.
The classic father-son dynamic.
Right. Archie, however, uses football tryouts as an excuse, bristling at his dad's probing questions. His parents lament. "Remember what it was like when we had a son, and he talked to us." It's a universal moment of parental disconnect.
Kevin, ever the guide to Riverdale High's social scene, gives Veronica a vivid description of the school, including a strip club called the Ho Zone, and a tragic gay bar called Innuendo, and mandatory football games followed by Walmart tailgates.
Laughs, Walmart tailgates.
This adds a layer of seedy yet mundane local flavor to the otherwise idyllic facade, revealing the actual, less glamorous underbelly of small-town life. It's grounded in a gritty reality, contrasting with the postcard image.
And Kevin doesn't pull any punches, bluntly asking Veronica if her dad is in jail about to be on trial. Veronica's dignified but telling response, "I stand by my father," hints at her own burdens and her fierce loyalty, despite the public scrutiny her family is under.
Yeah, she's got her own stuff going on.
Then Reggie Mantle enters, with crude, hella swole comments, implying steroid use for Archie's new physique and his MILF-ass fantasies, which trigger Archie's crucial flashback.
Okay, this flashback is incredibly key to understanding Archie's summer, right? We see a sexy 22-year-old woman in a VW Bug offering Archie a ride. She's later revealed to be Mrs. Grundy, his music teacher.
Bingo.
This immediately sets up the forbidden, inappropriate relationship that casts a shadow over his entire summer. The dialogue from Reggie, sexualizing a woman over the flashback, is particularly unsettling, linking Archie's physical transformation to this morally questionable, illicit encounter. It's a sharp contrast to his seemingly innocent desire for music.
We're introduced to Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah.
Josie, Valerie, and Melody, complete with their iconic pussycat ears.
Yes.
Josie, imperious and confident, rejects Archie's songs with a scathing, "Just a ginger leg. Not gonna happen."
Yeah.
Her reasoning is clear. We're a girl group of color, building a brand with songs we write. She emphasizes their successful 200,000 plus subscribers on YouTube, establishing their own power and influence in the high school ecosystem. They don't need him.
This scene immediately highlights Archie's desperation to get his music out there. He sees them as his only real shot at getting heard, despite Josie's blunt dismissal. Veronica and Kevin's observations about Archie's hotness, Kevin's comparison to Liam Hemsworth versus Chris Hemsworth, and Veronica's immediate interest, boy toy, underscore the dramatic shift in his social standing and how others perceive him now, further complicated by his secret.
And the big reveal. At the school assembly, where Mrs. Grundy leads the choir, Archie finally locks eyes with Mrs. Grundy, confirming she's the woman from the car.
There it is.
This revelation immediately pushes us into another flashback. A passionate, hot, forbidden kiss between Archie and Miss Grundy out of sight at the Battle of the Bands at the fairgrounds. This isn't just a fleeting crush, it's clearly an ongoing, deeply inappropriate affair.
Okay, let's unpack this. The reveal of Mrs. Grundy as Archie's secret summer fling immediately elevates the stakes. This isn't just about his newfound musical passion, it's about a deeply inappropriate power imbalanced relationship that could derail his entire life.
Absolutely.
This entire segment builds significant tension around Archie. He's torn between familial duty, football, and his burgeoning musical passion, all of which are now complicated by a dangerous secret relationship that threatens to expose him and potentially Miss Grundy to severe consequences. It transforms him from a simple boy next door into a morally complex character grappling with hidden desires and forbidden actions.
All right, let's dive into the intensifying pressure cooker that is Riverdale, where secrets and struggles are constantly bubbling to the surface, especially for our new arrivals. Hermione Lodge, newly arrived from New York, immediately faces the harsh reality of her family's situation.
Yeah, reality hits hard.
She directly approaches Fred Andrews, Archie's dad, for a job, leveraging their past connection. We even dated for a while. It's a bold move, seeking help from a former flame.
But Fred, despite their history, is honest and firm. He refuses, citing the undeniable impact of Hiram Lodge's fraud trial on his own business reputation. I can't very well have Hermione Lodge, wife to Hiram Lodge, on trial for fraud and embezzlement, balancing my books.
Ouch, that's gotta sting.
Hermione's despair is palpable in her stinging realization that Riverdale is not as accepting and less cruel than the savages of the Upper East Side. This really highlights the hypocrisy of the town with pep facade, exposing it as equally judgmental, just perhaps in a more subtle, small-town way.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much of Riverdale's kind and forgiving image is simply a facade, and how much is genuinely true.
That's a powerful point. Hermione's plight underscores the harsh realities of reputation and consequences, even in a supposedly forgiving town. Then we cut to lunchtime in the Riverdale High Courtyard, a classic clique scene. Veronica surveys the various groups, the Pussycats, the football players, Dilton with the nerds, and Cheryl with her cheerleaders, clearly the queen bees dominating the social hierarchy.
Right.
Initially, Veronica heads towards Cheryl, as if by instinct, but then she spots Betty with Archie and makes an immediate detour, choosing to sit with them instead.
It's a pivotal choice, isn't it? It shakes the core dynamics of the show, establishing Veronica's desire for a different kind of connection than the one she had in New York.
Definitely.
When Archie plays his song for them, Veronica's genuine reaction, it's incredible actually, acknowledges his talent, contrasting sharply with Josie's earlier dismissal. This signals her discerning nature and her potential role as a true ally, a refreshing presence for both Archie and Betty.
Archie, sensing trouble, makes a hasty departure when Cheryl approaches, knowing exactly what kind of manipulative energy she brings.
He knows better.
Cheryl, in true form, makes a grand manipulative entrance, extending an invitation to Veronica to join the River Vixens. She explicitly mentions their father's business connections and Archie's Efron-esque emergence, highlighting her strategic mind even in social interactions.
But the real drama unfolds when Cheryl cruelly dismisses Betty's cheerleading aspirations, stating, "Betty's already got so much on her plate, and being a vixen is kind of a full-time thing, but whatevs."
So condescending.
This isn't just a casual snub, it's a calculated jab that prompts Betty's heartbreaking confession. "I tried out last year, and Cheryl said I was too fat. She said I was season 5 Betty Draper."
Oh, that's brutal. That reveals Betty's deeply ingrained insecurity, rooted in past bullying from Cheryl.
Veronica's fierce defense of Betty, "You're a total smoke show now," instantly solidifies their immediate bond and positions Veronica as Betty's protector.
Yeah, she steps up.
Her decision, "If you want to be a river vixen, we'll try out together," is a powerful act of loyalty and a direct challenge to Cheryl's established authority. This interaction isn't just about cheerleading. It establishes Cheryl as a formidable antagonist and highlights the long-standing toxic power dynamics within Riverdale's youth. It also solidifies Veronica's character as a loyal friend determined to change things and actively challenge the status quo, even if it means confronting the Red Queen herself.
This act of defiance by Veronica then leads us to Archie's desperate plea to Mrs. Grundy for music lessons. He lists her impressive credentials. "You went to Juilliard, Tomoko Yoshida at Carnegie Mellon," emphasizing, "It's you or nobody. Please, Miss Grundy, I need to be able to talk about what happened with someone."
Okay, so he's not just asking for lessons. He's asking for what? Therapy, confession.
It seems like it. This is where the layers truly begin to peel back on Archie's somber secret.
And Miss Grundy, initially dismissive, tries to maintain the lie, insisting, "We heard fireworks, Archie. It was the 4th of July."
Right, the fireworks excuse again.
But Archie directly challenges her, asking, "Who's lighting fireworks at 6 in the morning?" He then drops the bomb, revealing the true nature of what they witnessed. "We heard what we heard," and then Cheryl screaming, "And we didn't do anything, and afterwards we didn't say anything."
Wow, okay, so they heard the scream too. and did nothing.
This isn't just a shared secret, it's a shared burden, a moment of profound inaction that haunts him. And this is where the narrative truly pivots for Archie. He presents a not-so-indecent proposal, an independent study with Mrs. Grundy, scheduled for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. in exchange for silence about what they witnessed on July 4th.
Oh,
The script explicitly asks, "Fuck, is Archie blackmailing Miss Grundy? Is that the kind of show we're doing?" And the answer is a resounding yes.
whoa.
This immediately elevates the moral complexity of the characters and the show's tone. Archie, the seemingly wholesome boy next door, is engaging in a quid pro quo that verges on blackmail to pursue his dreams and deal with a traumatic secret. It completely reframes our understanding of his motivations.
Meanwhile, Veronica, ever perceptive, observes Betty's underlying anxiety, wondering why someone as hot as you are and smart as you are is scared of trying out for cheerleading and of asking a ginge out.
Fair questions.
And then the script reveals Betty's shocking coping mechanism. We see her running towards an oncoming freight train, stopping scant inches from the tracks, lifting her arms and screaming.
What?
Helps with
The stress?
stress. That's what she says. It's a raw, visceral act of self-release. Her condition for telling Veronica everything. Get me on the cheerleading squad and I'll tell you everything.
Okay, Betty's raw, almost primal reaction to stress, choosing a literal brush with danger, offers a chilling insight into her seemingly perfect facade. It tells us that beneath that composed exterior lies a deeply anxious individual, desperate for control or release from immense internal pressure. What trauma lies beneath that composure, pushing her to such extremes? This segment reveals the extreme emotional burdens these teenagers are carrying. Archie is forced into a morally compromising position, and Betty's behavior suggests deep-seated anxiety and a desperate need for control or even self-punishment. Both characters are immediately more complex than their initial presentations, driven by secrets and coping mechanisms that are anything but innocent.
Okay, let's fast forward to the cheerleading audition itself, which becomes a major showdown, not just for a spot on the squad, but for the social hierarchy of Riverdale High.
Right, the stakes are high.
Betty and Veronica perform their sharp cheerography, a united front against Cheryl. But Cheryl, predictably, remains stone-faced, demanding something a bit racier from Veronica.
And Veronica delivers in a way no one expected. She plants a big, wet kiss on Betty's lips, and the heads of every Archie fan on the planet explode. It's the water cooler moment of the 2016-17 television season. Or is it?
The script even calls it out.
Cheryl's unimpressed response. Check your sell-by date, ladies. Faux lesbian kissing hasn't been taboo since Britney and Madonna did it in 2003 is classic Cheryl. It's a masterful dismissal, highlighting her own perceived sophistication while aiming to deflate Veronica's bold statement.
God, she's awful. But the real nastiness begins during Cheryl's interrogation after the kiss. She probes Veronica about her father and then turns her venom on Betty, asking about Polly. She asserts, "Jason's probably why your sister had a nervous breakdown, isn't it?"
Digging the knife in.
She even offers Betty a free pass to destroy me regarding Jason's treatment of Polly. But Betty, surprisingly, apologizes instead. "I'm sorry about what happened to Jason."
That moment of restraint from Betty, despite the obvious baiting, reveals a deep emotional maturity, or maybe a fear of what truly happened.
Interesting thought. This sets up Veronica's powerful counterattack. Cheryl accepts Veronica, but rejects Betty, a clear attempt to divide and conquer, to split their burgeoning friendship.
But Veronica, channeling her past ice princess persona for good, delivers a chilling, powerful speech. She calls Cheryl Riverdale's Red Queen, or should I say Red Widow, since you lost your soulmate.
Okay.
She declares that Cheryl traffics in terror and intimidation, and that eventually there will be a reckoning. And maybe that reckoning is me. This is a significant declaration of war.
She then delivers her ultimatum. "Betty and I come as a matching set. You want one? You take us both." She threatens to start a rival booster club that would eclipse your River Vixens, ending with a powerful line, "My specialty's ice."
Ooh, go Veronica. Veronica's calculated defiance here signals a major shift in the power dynamics of Riverdale High. We're seeing her truly commit to becoming a better version of herself by defending her new friend and challenging an established bully.
Absolutely. This sequence is a significant turning point for Betty and Veronica's friendship and a direct assault on Cheryl's authority. Veronica's courage and strategic mind are on full display, promising a formidable new dynamic in Riverdale.
Meanwhile, Archie is facing his own dilemmas, equally fraught with familial expectation and the looming shadow of Jason Blossom. He's offered Jason's varsity football spot, complete with his locker and number, over Reggie and Moose.
Taking the dead guy's spot. Heavy.
Coach Cleet's blunt assessment of Reggie's father's subsidies and Moose's intelligence paints a clear picture of high school politics and the compromises involved. Archie's immediate realization he'd be the dead boy's replacement, whoa, highlights the immense weight of this offer.
In the girls' locker room, Veronica makes a raw, unexpected confession to Betty about her past in New York. The things the trolls were writing were true. I was like Cheryl, worse than Cheryl. Not a person I particularly enjoyed spending time with, to be honest.
Wow, okay. That's a moment of profound vulnerability and self-awareness.
It really is. She admits to making a pact with myself, to use this as a chance to become, maybe, hopefully, a better version of myself. This humanizes Veronica immensely, showing her motivations are deeper than just escaping her father's scandal.
This prompts Betty to reciprocate with a heartbreaking revelation about Polly and Jason's relationship. It was super intense and toxic.
Okay, more details.
Even more painfully, she reveals how Mom treated Polly after what happened with Jason was so much worse. She turned on Polly, said Polly wasn't her daughter. Jason hurt Polly, but it's my mom who broke her.
Jesus, that's awful.
Betty confesses feeling under some pressure from my parents not to turn out the way Polly did. This confession reveals the deep trauma within the Cooper family, showing that Polly's breakdown was not just about Jason, but profoundly exacerbated by her own mother's cruelty and rigid expectations.
The newly minted River Vixens, Betty and Veronica, emboldened by their shared triumph, invite Archie to the dance. Veronica, ever the strategist, announces her handmaiden plan for Betty to be alone with Archie, clearly trying to set up her friend for a romantic breakthrough.
Good intentions, maybe.
But familial expectations are tearing at Archie. Fred discovers Archie's lies about football and work, leading to Archie's direct confession. I want to study music. Dad, write music.
The big confession.
Fred's disappointment is palpable. His belief in a scholarship for college clashing with Archie's rejection of the family business. No disrespect, Dad, but I don't want it. Fred's resigned statement, "We don't talk to each other anymore, we keep secrets okay," marks a significant generational divide, a moment of profound fracture in their father-son relationship.
And the Cooper household explodes when Betty arrives home in her cheerleading uniform, sparking a huge argument between Alice and Polly, revealing the simmering tensions just beneath their surface.
Oh boy.
Alice's outburst. "I don't need another Polly, Betty. One train wreck's enough," is met by Polly's counter. "The only person in Riverdale more medicated than me is you."
Ooh, snap.
Betty terrifyingly stands her defiant ground. "I do everything for everyone. Can't I do this one thing for me?" She declares she's going to the dance with Archie and Veronica Lodge, to Alice's utter disdain for the Lodge women.
Go, Betty.
This sequence is a masterclass in deepening character and building dramatic tension. The weight of familial expectations is palpable, and we see how each character, particularly Betty and Archie, are starting to push back against the lives their parents envisioned for them.
Yeah.
This creates a powerful sense of universal struggle, deepening their motivations significantly. It's a testament to the script's efficiency that it weaves so many personal interfamily conflicts into the broader mystery, showing that Riverdale's secrets run through every household.
And so, we arrive at the back-to-school dance, a seemingly innocent high school tradition, but here it's anything but. The gym is decorated, streamers, lights, and giant photo portraits of Jason Blossom hovering over everything.
Super creepy. Veronica deadpans, not the Met Ball, setting the tone for the superficial fun that masks deep underlying currents.
Archie, with a secret agenda, quickly ditches Betty to talk to Mrs. Grundy, promising to be a much better date upon his return.
Smooth, Archie. Real smooth. This is where the blackmail solidifies, and the true nature of Archie's relationship with Mrs. Grundy becomes even more sinister. Archie's chilling words to Mrs. Grundy: "No, we have a secret, Geraldine. Multiple secrets, actually."
Geraldine. Ooh, using her first name. Power play.
Totally. He leverages their shared secret of July 4th. We heard what we heard, and then Cheryl screaming, and we didn't do anything, and afterwards we didn't say anything. This isn't just about his music lessons. He's explicitly using the trauma of Jason's disappearance as leverage, forcing her hand into the independent study.
Wow.
Mrs. Grundy's reluctant agreement establishes the terms of their forbidden, morally compromised alliance. The layers of their complicity are deepening.
Cheryl, of course, makes a dramatic entrance in an outrageously over-the-top crimson gown, ensuring all eyes are on her. She uses her public platform to thank everyone for their unconditional love and healing energy and announces a scholarship fund in Jason's name, all a carefully constructed performance of grief to maintain her facade and control the narrative.
She's relentless. Josie and the Pussycats then perform a haunting acoustic cover of Tears for Fears' Mad World, providing an unsettling soundtrack to the simmering tensions.
Perfect song choice. As Mad World plays, the script delivers a critical, shocking revelation. Archie has another flashback to the Sweetwater River with Mrs. Grundy confirming they were together there.
Okay, here it comes.
But this time, we hear the unmistakable sound of a loud gunshot, followed by a girl's scream, Cheryl's, echoing from across the river.
A gunshot, not fireworks. This dramatically contradicts Mrs. Grundy's earlier excuse and completely reframes Jason's disappearance from a drowning accident into something far more sinister.
Exactly.
This raises an immediate and profound question. Who was shooting? And if it was a gunshot, what does that imply about Jason's death? And what does it mean that both Archie and Miss Grundy knew and kept silent even after the official ruling of accidental drowning? This single moment changes everything.
It fundamentally shifts the entire premise of the show. We're no longer looking for why he drowned. We're looking for a killer. And while all that's sinking in, Drink and Reggie Mantle, still simmering over Jason's varsity spot, confronts Archie, leading to a near fight.
Typical Reggie.
Cheryl intervenes, inviting everyone to her after-party, promising sex, booze, and party games galore because her parents are away and the liquor cabinet is open for business. It's a deliberate escalation from the dance's controlled environment.
Cheryl's after-party is weirdly more packed than the dance, with bars with bartenders, kegs, tiki torches, setting a chaotic and unsupervised scene that perfectly mirrors the unraveling order of Riverdale.
Right. Veronica, ever the strategist and friend, strategically sends Archie with Betty to find the bathroom, leading them to Jason's perfectly preserved bedroom. A super creepy and shrine-like space filled with trophies and photos. It's almost a mausoleum dedicated to his memory.
Ugh, creepy is right. Here, Betty finds a strip of photos of Jason with Polly before her fall from grace. She's blonde, wholesome, wearing a cheerleading outfit. The script notes, "Here, now, we understand why it means so much to Betty to be a vixen." This is a crucial piece of the Polly-Jason puzzle, finally giving us a visual of their relationship before everything went wrong, and linking Betty's current desire to Polly's past.
And then Penelope Blossom, Jason's tall, regal, heavily doped-up mother, makes a brief, eerie appearance, adding to the creepiness of the Blossom household. It suggests a family in deep denial or under the influence of something more than grief.
Cheryl then orchestrates a game of 7 Minutes in Heaven in her father's man cave, with its animal heads on the walls, hunting rifles in a display case.
Oh, the symbolism.
The very setting, filled with hunting trophies, hints at a predatory nature. She manipulates the game to force Veronica and Archie into the closet, despite the roulette wheel initially landing on Betty,
Of course she does.
delivering a chilling line to Betty. "Did you really think there wouldn't be a price to pay?" And then a truly cruel and probing question. I mean, it's not like you're crushing on Archie or, "Wait, are you?" And I had no idea. It's a calculated act designed to inflict maximum emotional damage on Betty.
She is pure evil. Inside the closet, the air, the space between them, is THCC with sexual tension. So Archie and Veronica start to kiss. Tentatively at first, then more and more passionately.
This highly anticipated moment is the romantic climax of the pilot, a direct betrayal of Betty's unspoken feelings and Veronica's stated loyalty to her new friend. It's a messy, passionate, and inevitably regrettable moment.
When Archie and Veronica emerge, Cheryl's wicked smile reveals Betty is left. Strangely, she seemed upset.
You think, Cheryl? Veronica's immediate regret is clear. Believe me, the last thing Betty wants is us tracking her down together. From the look on Veronica's face, we can tell she's already regretting those 7 minutes. This segment is the climax of the social dynamics, forcing romantic tensions to a head while revealing more layers of the Blossom family's strangeness and Cheryl's manipulative nature. The photo of Polly and Jason is a critical piece of the puzzle, linking the past trauma directly to the present.
Yeah.
This raises an important question. What exactly happened between Polly and Jason that led to Polly's fall from grace and her mother's wrath? And how will this kiss, with its immediate regret, reshape the friendships in Riverdale, especially given the already fragile trust?
The fragmented aftermath of the party is incredibly poignant, showing the immediate emotional fallout. Betty knocks on Polly's black door, apologizing and pleading. This is so hard sometimes, with mom and everything.
Yeah.
But Polly remains silent, highlighting her deep trauma and the impenetrable wall she's built. It's a heartbreaking scene of unfulfilled connection.
Veronica, in her Uber, leaves a tearful voicemail for her jailed father. "I'm trying, Daddy, I'm trying so hard," highlighting her own vulnerability despite her strong, seemingly put together exterior. The script notes how alike they are, in a way, underscoring the hidden pain both girls carry.
Revealing that beneath their different exteriors, they share a deep emotional burden related to their families.
Archie seeks out Jughead at Pops, a moment of attempted reconciliation, but one that is fraught with tension. We learn about Jughead's hearing aid and his slower cadence, like someone who's forgotten what he sounds like, which provides some new character depth and explains his often detached demeanor.
Interesting detail. Archie's regret for the kiss is evident. I'm kind of terrified I lost my best friend tonight, but Jughead's blunt assessment, yeah, you do that a lot.
Ouch. Truth hurts.
And his refusal to connect, I don't even know you, Archie. You might as well be Jason Blossom to me, shatters Archie's hope for immediate forgiveness, revealing the deep rift in their friendship.
That comparison to Jason is particularly harsh, suggesting Archie's actions have made him as unknowable or even as problematic as the deceased Blossom.
Back in the Cooper home, Alice is still playing her ruthless chess game, seeing Hermione as a potential ally against the Blossoms, but more truly as a weapon.
Of course.
Alice's chilling conviction to Hal. She knew, Hermione knew what her husband was doing and her warning. She and her daughter are a story, Hal, the story that's going to change everything for us, for the Register. Everything the Blossom story wasn't, reveals her intense desire to bring down the Lodge family, leveraging their past romantic history. It confirms Alice as a formidable, almost vengeful force in Riverdale.
And then the heartbreaking confrontation between Archie and Betty, the moment of truth. Betty, waiting for him on his porch, demands honesty about his feelings.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Archie's confession is wrong. I'm so sorry, Betty. Of course I love you, but I can't give you the answer you want. You're so perfect, Betty. I'd never be good enough for you.
Ugh. The classic, it's not you, it's me, but worse. It's a painful moment of truth, confirming Betty's fears and leaving the core trio's relationships deeply fractured, perhaps irreparably.
And this is it. The pilot culminates with a horrifying, jaw-dropping discovery that recontextualizes everything. Kevin and this British hottie Devon's illicit tryst at Sweetwater River is interrupted when Devon trips over.
Don't say it.
Jason Blossom's waterlogged, rotten corpse, tangled in river weeds, half his face eaten by fish, a bullet hole in his forehead.
Oh my god, a bullet hole.
This is the ultimate revelation, a complete reframe of the entire summer. It transforms the tragedy into a crime, a cold-blooded murder, and every character's previous actions or statements suddenly take on new, sinister implications. The initial facade of innocence is not just cracked, it's completely shattered.
Jughead's final voiceover confirms the paradigm shift, sealing Riverdale's fate. By morning, everyone would be talking, texting, and posting about it. We'd all be feeling it. That the world around us had changed forever. Riverdale wasn't the same town anymore. That if we'd ever been innocent, we weren't anymore.
His ominous pronouncement sets the stage for everything that comes next. A promise of ongoing mystery and disruption. On Monday, the autopsy would take place, and on Tuesday, halfway through fifth period, the first arrest would be made, shaking the very foundation of Riverdale High.
An arrest. Already predicting an arrest.
The true nature of Jason Blossom's death is unveiled, immediately contradicting the earlier accident narrative. This changes everything, elevating the small-town drama into a full-blown murder mystery, setting the stage for deep investigations, betrayals, and the unraveling of every carefully constructed secret. The innocent postcard is now stained with blood.
And just like that, Riverdale has irrevocably shifted from an idealized small town, a town with pep, to a place where secrets, betrayals, and now cold-blooded murder run rampant. We've seen Jason's true cause of death, a gunshot, completely reframing everything we thought we knew. We've uncovered Archie's deep, troubling secret with Mrs. Grundy and his inaction at Sweetwater River. We've glimpsed Betty and Polly's family trauma, Veronica's hidden past and desire for redemption, and Jughead's chilling narration setting the scene for what can only be described as the complete loss of innocence. The town with pep is now the town with a corpse, a bullet hole, and a very clear cover-up. Every character we've met, every family dynamic is now implicated or profoundly affected by this new, grim reality.
The foundation of Riverdale has been shaken, and a murder investigation is about to take center stage.
So, based on what we've dissected in this pilot script, what comes next?
Okay, prediction time.
Given Jughead's final voiceover, the autopsy and impending arrest will dominate the narrative. Who will be the primary suspects for Jason Blossom's murder? We know Polly had a super intense and toxic relationship with him.
And Alice Cooper, her mother, certainly harbored intense animosity. With the reveal of Jason's death being murder, The Cooper family's past with Jason becomes incredibly suspicious. Could they be more deeply entangled than we imagine? Perhaps even involved in the murder itself or its cover-up?
That's a strong possibility. And how will Archie and Miss Grundy's shared secret about witnessing the gunshot at Sweetwater River factor into the murder investigation? Their silence could be exposed, putting them in immense danger, especially if the police start asking more pointed questions about that fateful 4th of July morning.
Exactly. Will Miss Grundy continue to protect Archie and their illicit relationship? Or will she save herself, exposing everything they heard? This secret is no longer just about their affair. It's a ticking time bomb tied directly to a murder.
The Blossom family's reaction to the revelation of Jason's murder, especially after they insisted it was an accident and buried an empty casket, will be incredibly telling.
No.
Will Cheryl resort to new depths of manipulation and theatrical performance to protect her family's image, or even herself, if the spotlight turns on them? We already know they wield incredible, almost unchecked power over the town. How will that power be used now, in the face of murder?
That's going to be fascinating to watch. And what about the new arrivals, Hermione and Veronica Lodge? How will they navigate their new lives in Riverdale with this major scandal unfolding? Will Hermione's desperate attempts to find a job be further impacted by the murder, making her financial struggles even more pronounced?
Good question.
And what about Alice Cooper's manipulative attempts to ally with Hermione, using her for the Register? That alliance, based on exposing Hiram Lodge, just got a whole lot more complicated, potentially shifting its focus to the Blossom murder.
Yeah, Alice always has an angle. Finally, the friendships are already on the brink. The kiss between Archie and Veronica and Betty's heartbroken reaction has fractured the core trio before the murder even became public knowledge.
Right, that's a huge mess already.
How will they navigate the emotional fallout of this, especially as the town grapples with a murder investigation that will demand honesty and trust? And will Jughead's estranged friendship with Archie and his unique narrative perspective play a larger, perhaps more investigative role in uncovering the truth about Jason's death now that the stakes are literally life and death?
Jughead as the detective, I could see that. This isn't just a small town mystery, it's a profound unraveling.
Absolutely. If a single gunshot can shatter a town's innocence and expose its deepest shadows, what other dark truths lie buried beneath Riverdale's deceptively sweet facade, just waiting for the next shocking reveal? What will be the fallout when that first arrest is made on Tuesday, shaking the very foundation of Riverdale High, as Jughead ominously predicts? The journey into Riverdale has just begun, and it promises to be anything but pep.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
Can't wait to see what happens next.